Okay, part two on the lock-in.
Yeah.
So we're going through who's in youth group and who was the last person you were mentioning?
Alice, she does a lot of writing and a lot of academic stuff. Yeah, stop doing your hand thing. I'm trying to think.
So Alice does a lot of writing, and what other academic?
Um,
What else does she do?
I think she like participated in some like civic engagement, submitting some essays she wrote.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she does a lot of that.
Okay. So how many boys and how many girls? And
two boys, the rest girls. I don't know the exact number.
Sounds like there's lots of girls.
Yeah, there's a bunch of girls.
4 or 5 or 6?
Probably 5, 6. I don't know.
Okay. All right. What's it like to be one of the few boys with a whole bunch of girls?
I don't know. 2 hours is too long, and 7 hours is much too long.
Okay.
8 hours. Oh my god.
That's what the lock-in was?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So which person in the group do you feel is most kind of simpatico to who you are?
I don't know. I don't really know anybody that well. But
8 hours of hanging out on the... I'd say you know them pretty well.
No, we don't really talk about...
You know what they named their bunnies, except
No, I
forgot.
don't remember what I named their bunnies. Case in point.
All right, so... okay, so... by the way, what time is it now? So you just woke up.
11:40.
It's 11:43, and you just woke up about, 10 minutes ago, right?
Yeah.
And then I started filming you. Poor child. Anyway, so what did you do from 6 p.m. until 1:04?
Well, 6 p.m. we made dinner, so we made brownies.
That was your dinner.
Yeah,
this phase in your life.
No, I had a salad, I had
Okay.
some chicken, I had some toast, and I had a mango. And there was another food I had, I don't remember.
Brownies.
Yeah. And,
There's Daddy. Daddy petting the little kitty. Little kitty whose legs were all stuck out a little cushion. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey.
after that, everybody came back and we played Balderdash, and then after that, we had an hour break, so we watched Captain America: The Winter. Excuse me. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
That's why it was on my laptop.
Yeah, I had to play it from your laptop because since you unplugged the TV last time, the phone and the iPad were not connected to the...
So you played it for everybody to watch?
No, this was during the break time. There was an hour break.
Oh, we watched
we watched
it. Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay. I thought you meant your whole group watched it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so then what? So that Falcon, watching the Falcon thing was our family activity for 1 hour.
Did you like it?
When you were on break. It's okay.
What was
still,
your
still
favorite
too
part?
violent. Still too violent.
No, there was barely any violence. Look at
What's wrong with your
No,
hand?
you weren't looking at the camera when you were answering my questions.
Okay, tell me the rest about lock-in.
Yeah.
So after Falcon, then what happened?
Then we got back and I don't even remember.
You probably talked about making brownies or something, or dinner, or what you did. Or was that when you played Balderdash?
Oh no, we planned worship a bit.
Oh, when is your worship?
So we talked. It's May 26th, and we talked about who was going to do a sermonette. And I said I was going to do a sermonette, even though it's probably going to be a ton of work, and I'm probably not going to sleep one night.
How interesting. What are you going to do for your sermonette?
No idea.
What's the theme of the service?
Can't tell you.
Oh.
I probably can, but I don't.
Can you tell Dakota, and I'll just kind of.
I encoded it in my last article. If you want to get
yeah, I saw that.
Cryptography.
It's a little bit beyond me.
Hint: try reversing it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So you, how long did you spend planning the service, and who's going to do what in the service? Are there other sermonettes?
Yep, there are other sermonettes.
How many sermonettes are there?
I think 4 other people are doing sermonettes.
Oh, lots of sermonettes.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of sermonettes.
So is it like 5 minutes a kid or something?
Yeah, something like that.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, so.
Are you going to sing in the service?
I don't know. We haven't decided really on a song yet. There are a lot of choices.
A song? There's always lots of musical things.
No, there's going to be 2 songs probably. They did 2 songs last time.
Okay. All right. So you worked on the planning of the service, and then what else did you do? You played Balderdash.
Yeah, I played Balderdash, and that was before though.
Okay.
And then after that, we did some question answering, but last time it worked better. I'm not sure why, because I guess we used a Jamboard, and this time it kind of fell flat because we only went through 2 questions and nobody could think of anything to say, and nobody could think of another question.
Oh, what were the 2 questions?
I don't even remember. It was like, what's something you want to change in your life, and what's something you're... No, what was a positive change in your life, and what's something you're hopeful for?
And
It
what
was
did
like
you
one of the first questions.
What did you say?
I said, I was really busy this week, so I hope next week I'm not as busy. And then I said, I hope we can go to Maple Hill tomorrow to get my disc.
And what's Maple Hill?
The amazing #1 rated disc golf course in the world, according to UDisc. And it is an hour from our house, and I don't know why we don't go every weekend if it's the #1 rated disc golf course in the world, but...
Well, and you might be the little, go fetcher.
Yeah, I might be a little go fetcher.
What's that?
Yeah.
Some kind of honor to be the go fetcher.
Spotter.
Spotter.
Yeah.
And when might you be the spotter?
During the MVP Open.
Which happens to be the same weekend we go to Tully Lake, so
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge.
worried about that. Anyway, okay. So, all right. So then what happened? So you did these questions. They kind of worked or didn't work,
Yeah,
and then
it
what
kinda
happened?
didn't work. And then at midnight, all the adults left, and I was thinking, it'll just kind of wind down in about 15 minutes. I was wrong.
So what happened?
Yeah, so that's the time when everybody talks, and I don't even remember what we talked about. We talked about, like, what is the stereotypical midnight stuff. Like, what is the, definition of being a furry? Do you know what a furry is?
No.
It's somebody who, dresses up in one of those, mascot costumes.
Oh,
And
furry.
yeah,
Okay.
apparently there's other things that go along with it, but yeah, like they said that if you have he was joking, but he said if you have a stuffed animal, you could be conspired to be a furry. And then I said, but what if you have like a taxidermied animal? Does that count? It was a really weird conversation.
This is what happens when you combine
I
intelligence and fatigue.
I couldn't think of any witty thing to say. I don't know why I brought up taxidermy.
And what did they say? They
said
hadn't
no-
thought
no.
about taxidermy.
They said no, it doesn't count because that's a real animal. So then you can't dress up as a real animal. So
I see.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
whatever.
that was quite a conversation.
Yep.
And then how did you decide? Okay, it's time for bed, everyone.
Well, it was 1, and I thought I'd make a grand exit, but I accidentally said I'd make a grand entrance because I was tired.
Oh,
And then I made a grand entrance and left.
I see. Were they still talking, or did everyone say, "I think it's time for
Yeah,
us all to
one
make it
person had
grand"?
already left, and everybody else said that. Oh yeah, no, they said that jokingly that this was a joke. It's complete sarcasm. That if you stay up late, you're strong, and if you leave, you're weak.
Okay.
Total sarcasm. Don't think it's like some hazing thing.
Okay. You're projecting onto me over concern.
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
parent.
whatever. And I said, I admit conceit. I am weak, and then I left.
I see. You concede you're weak.
Yeah.
I see. I'd say that's smart.
Yeah.
Of course, if it's weakness
over-concerned,
versus
yeah,
strength, I'm very strong, and yet my brain gets weaker and weaker the more all-nighters I pull.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So, scale from 1 to 10, how was lock-in?
I'd give it a 2 long.
Okay, that was funny, but on a scale from 1 to 10 with numbers when you're not doing puns.
I'd give it a 2.
Oh, come on. Come on.
No, okay, not a 2. Maybe like a 6.
It sounds like it's more like a 7 or 8.
No, a 6.
This is kind of your gang, your COVID gang, because it's... Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, until the next lock-in. And tonight, I'm cutting your hair.
Yeah, whatever.
Yep. And tomorrow, you're going to read about the woodchuck.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. So Cameron wrote a poem that Jessica, the RE director, asked him to write a poem, and he did. And the minister loved it and asked him to read it this Sunday instead of during the service that they're planning. Anyway, so what inspired the woodchuck under the deck poem?
Well, they said I needed to write one about spring, and about the topic of emergence. And I think not one of any poem I've ever written has really been serious. So I was like, I don't know, emergence. So I wrote about the woodchuck emerging from under the deck.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of emergence on many levels, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I guess so.
Sure. Okay. And so we're at the 1 year mark with COVID. Tell me what's been 3 of the best and 3 of the worst things about the past year.
3 of the best and 3 of the worst things.
Right.
Well, I guess I discovered disc golf. That was pretty cool.
That's huge.
Yeah. Dakota's been a lot happier since COVID.
We're all home. Yeah.
Yeah. He has a lot of new stuff. He has a new ramp.
Kitty.
Yeah. He has a new ramp. He has a new bed. He has a new blanket.
Yes, he does. He loves them, doesn't he? This one is like it's self-heated, so he loves it.
And we pet him
Okay.
a lot.
All the time.
And
Yeah.
when we play Monopoly Deal, he comes up there and then he just watches and then he runs through the cards.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got disc golf and Dakota. What's the third thing?
I guess a lot of we play a lot of board games like the cat game and occasionally Rome.
Yeah, so the cat game is
And
sprawled out all
Monopoly
over
Deal.
here. We need to work on putting things away, but we scribble on the little board and use these little cats to. It's like charades, but in writing.
No, it's Pictionary,
Pictionary
but with cats.
with cats. Okay, so and we play Rome sometimes, and we play Monopoly Deal a lot.
Yeah.
We used to play Parcheesi, but not so much now.
No, we played it occasionally. We played it.
Okay, so that's one of your top 3. I'm just really happy. One thing with Daddy, one thing with Mommy in the top 3, and
And
one thing with the furry creature.
Yeah.
There we go. What are the 3 worst things about COVID?
Well, not necessarily about the pandemic, but just this semester I'm so busy because I have 4 classes instead of 3 since last semester, and they're like 2 of the hardest classes.
Which are those?
That being social studies is by far the hardest.
Why is it so hard?
Because she gives us a half hour of homework each night.
And it's not really a half hour. What is it really?
At best, 40 minutes. At worst, hour 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the name of your teacher?
No. At worst, like I was working on this presentation, like you could have a bare minimum presentation, and she might grade it not that well and give you a B, but I tried to make it as best a presentation as I could, and I worked like 4 to 5 hours on it.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's good for you. What's her name?
But yeah, add that to orchestra that I'm doing, and oboe, and French, and piano, and choir, and all the other after-school activities.
You're a busy child.
Yeah.
So what's the name of the social studies teacher?
Miss Leopold.
Okay. Is she the one that gave all those interesting progressive extra credit assignments?
Yeah.
And what were some of those topics?
Well, there weren't a lot of interesting. I guess just want to give them 2 extra credit things, but
What were they?
so far, which is to attend the anti-Semitism awareness lunch,
Yep.
and it just so happened that 2 teachers gave extra credit for that.
Terrific.
Yeah, Miss
That
Murray
was
did as well.
And you did it, right?
Yep.
Great.
Mhm.
Tell me something you learned from that.
Well, they kind of gave a rundown of all the anti-Semitism through history, through the blood libel, which we actually learned about in social studies
blood
class
what?
last year. Blood libel.
What's that mean?
I don't remember it exactly, but it's I don't want to badly describe it because this is sort of an important part of history. But I don't really remember world history that much. But they kind of gave a rundown of all the different persecutions that the Jews have received through history, all the way up to the Holocaust and even like now. And there was sort of a discussion about how like a lot of people deny that anti-Semitism exists, and and there's even been like in our school like examples of anti-Semitism. I shouldn't say even in our school. That's like
Really? What happened at your school?
like swastikas being painted.
Terrible. All right. So that's social. And what were some of the other talks that they had you go to, or said you could go to?
That was really the only one she gave us extra credit for. But this week, on Tuesday, I went to the I can't remember what their title was. Their acronym was ASAP. So they said ASAP meeting, and everybody thought it was as soon as possible meeting about something. Right. But no, their club name is ASAP, which is Amherst Socialism something.
Maybe social activism?
No, socialism.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were talking about student debt.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And Biden apparently said he had a plan for student debt, but he's not enacted a plan yet, so they were kind of mad about that.
And this is a student group that organized the talk?
Yeah, and they had a conversation starter question where everybody had to introduce themselves. And can you guess what it is? What it was?
What was it?
Something you came across recently.
Oh, I don't know. What?
If you stack one lasagna on top of another lasagna, does that make one or two lasagnas?
So this was one of my students in his online introduction.
Yeah, apparently he didn't make it up. Apparently it's like some
It's
class,
a thing.
Yeah.
Who knew? Oh, I've got to tell that student. That's really funny.
Yeah.
So you all had to say whether it's one lasagna or two lasagnas?
Yeah.
Funny. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm skipping around a bit. So what are the other courses that you're doing this semester?
Do you want to hear about the other two worst parts of that was like years ago?
Oh, totally. Whatever. Let's go back. Yes, the other two worst parts of COVID.
Yep. A lot of screens. Yeah, yesterday was probably the worst day I've ever had with screens.
It was like 10 hours of screens. I was really worried.
Yeah, like before the pandemic, they did a presentation where they said like, the average for kids, including like time on their phone with social media and other things, is like 7.5 hours of screens. And it was like, wow, that's incredible. How is it that much? Which it is impressive because that's like the average.
Right.
Yeah, I spent at most probably like 6 hours during that time.
We try to get you off as much as we can.
But now, the average is probably like 9.
Right. Well, because like Oboe is also a screen.
Oboe is a screen.
Choral
French
is a screen. Everything's a screen.
Yeah.
Homework is a screen.
I think it does help though to like vary the screen. Like the phone.
I agree.
On my piano is like a very tiny screen, so it doesn't really like feel like it.
Yeah.
And then the TV is a very distant screen.
Right. When you're doing piano, you're actually looking at the piano a good chunk of the time.
Yeah.
So too much screen time is the second bad thing about COVID. What's the third bad thing?
I'm not sure. Probably, some stuff you can't do right now, like some of the stuff I used to do in school, like, a lot of, after school activities, like clubs. You can't do that now. I used to do, what are you doing?
You're seeing what you're investigating with your toes. Go ahead.
Whatever. I used to do board game club, and now that's not happening. I'm not sure why, because there's a lot of online opportunities for board games. Oh, no, I know why. It's because Skylar graduated.
Oh, you just need a student to take it on?
Yeah, he was the leader, though. He brought all the board games. He was, like, the one who completely ran it.
But you could do that.
No, I'm too busy. I don't even have a day when I could do it.
Okay, got it. Okay, so that's another bad thing and of course another bad thing about COVID is like 500,000 people have died.
Yeah, also the
tragic. Every day.
The musical is different this year. They had to do it later, which means I'm going to have to choose between the musical and a spring sport. I'm going to choose a musical, of course, but
I think you can still do tennis. Tennis would be the spring sport. Anyway, we'll see what we can fit in.
Did you email the guy?
I had emailed him telling him you're going to do it, so I've got to follow up.
Yeah.
I will follow up. Okay. Anyway, so Cameron, I'd like you to run down what does your week look like? Takes this week. What do you do day by day?
This week was special because we had a break on Wednesday.
Okay, so take a normal week and tell me what's your schedule. What time do you start things? What courses do you have? Starting at what time? Run through the whole thing.
Well, Monday, I guess. My normal 3 classes are social studies, and social studies, then band, then
Tell me what time you have each thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I wake up probably about 7:45, depending on how late I stay up the night before, and I usually have some, if not all of my half hour of social studies homework left. If it's way more than half hour, I'll usually do a lot the night before, but I usually do some the night before and like save like 15 minutes for the day of because I usually have like an hour and a half before class.
Okay.
And usually morning is when I work best. But
Okay.
so then I do that and then submit it, and then I have my social studies class, and then after that.
What time is social studies?
Oh yeah, 9 to 10:20.
Okay.
And then I have a 10-minute break.
And actually, tell me what social studies looks like. What do you do? Are you? Is there a lecture? Is there breakout groups? What are you doing?
Yeah, she usually does some kind of lecture each day, but I don't really like the lectures that much because she kind of I think Mr. Lutz was a better lecturer than Miss Leopold. She kind of just rants on a while and doesn't. None of her things are lectures are really interesting, except for one. I liked the boom and bust lecture because that's something I could kind of understand. It was like math related.
What was that about?
Just like the pattern of how businesses during the Gilded Age, sort of like combat like different problems. Okay. How like one thing leads to another. It's kind of hard to explain, but.
Okay, so how long is her lecture, and what are you doing for the remainder of the hour and 20 minutes?
She doesn't do a lecture every day, and when she does, it's only like 15 minutes.
Okay, so what's the rest of the time?
There's usually some sort of activity. We sometimes do breakout rooms, sometimes do things in class.
So is some of the time working independently, or?
Yeah, usually some of the time is working independently. Sometimes we'll take notes on a film, or
like
she'll sometimes give us a bit of homework time.
And when you do the breakout groups, about how long does that last? And give me a sample of an interesting.
No, breakout rooms isn't like a normal thing, but she'll use the breakout rooms to do something. Like sometimes we'll work as a team to like brainstorm some ideas. Like yesterday, we like what
Sorry, I interrupted. Yesterday, what did you do?
No, I'll answer your question. Yesterday was special, but yeah, like she'll give us a prompt. Usually about something we worked on in the homework, and then we'll brainstorm like ideas, like what was the thesis of this article, because it like wasn't explicitly said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like what article? Give me an example.
It was about Ellis Island.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and why was yesterday special?
Because yesterday we did an activity. It was like the progressive parlor, where we each were a progressive in history. I was Big Bill Haywood.
Oh. What is that?
Who Big Bill Haywood is?
No. You
don't know who Big Bill Haywood? Okay.
Sorry.
He was like one of the biggest union organizers of all time. He founded the International Workers of the World.
Woo!
You know who the International Workers?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Funny thing is, I'm a big union person.
Yeah, I know.
What's up with that? Anyway, so why did you pick him, and how had you heard of him?
I did not pick him. I was assigned him, and you could try to trade. And some people were John Muir and Teddy Roosevelt and W.B. Du Bois.
Yay!
But I was too lazy to ask to trade with one of them, so I stuck with Big Bill Haywood because his name sounds cool.
I haven't heard any women. Who were the women?
Oh yeah, there were a ton of women. There was
like
Ida B. Wells and Catherine Chapman Catt. You know who she is?
Yes, of course.
And somebody Sanger.
Yes, Margaret Sanger.
Yeah, and
interesting. Founded Planned Parenthood, but actually favored eugenics. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's what I heard. And Alice Paul.
Yay! One of my favorite suffragists went on hunger strike. Really radical.
I can't remember if we didn't meet with everybody, but I can't remember if some of the other suffragists, like Susan B. Anthony and other people, were in there too. But yeah, but there were a lot of women.
And I was so happy that this teacher assigned A Passion for Justice, the story of Ida B. Wells' life. She's one of my heroes.
I was gonna try to have that be your movie pick, so you could have one less movie pick. But I was too lazy to orchestrate that.
Yeah, oh well. All right, so that was really interesting. What a great assignment. I love this teacher. Yeah. Okay, so we've gotten through from 9 to 10:20. What comes next in the day?
Band.
And what is that like? Who's your teacher, and what are you doing in class?
I auditioned last year for Wind Ensemble, which is a much more advanced band, where it's the 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, but Wind Ensemble, I guess, doesn't exist this year, so I'm in quarter 3 band, which is just me and some other people in my grade and all of the 9th graders.
Okay.
Which, isn't, I'm probably the most advanced in the group, but...
Okay. And what do you do in band? How do you play a band when you can't be all playing at the same time?
We haven't played anything all together yet, but Mr. I will probably have us do something like that at some point. But so far, we had a solo project where we played a solo piece, and I had a lot of technical difficulties during that.
Why?
My computer kept crashing when I tried to both play the accompaniment for my song and record a video of myself playing it. So I had to be in a Zoom call and play the video, and Miss Nye would play the accompaniment through the Zoom call.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you remember, yeah, but it still came out okay. I was just a little bit behind at some places, but
Okay. Well, there you go.
yeah. But this time we didn't have a video, so I could record it pretty easily on BandLab. And I did a duet project, and I was the only one who was by myself, so I recorded 2 different parts, and I think it came out pretty well.
Yeah, it did. And so, what was that event like? We just did this a couple days ago, and so Ms. Nye, Karen Nye, emailed all the parents, and I sent it to a bunch of other people. So Barbara, Cameron's grandmother, we've now made her official grandmother since she married my father, and she's like a grandmother. So anyway, so she tried to zoom in from Vermont and managed, but couldn't get the sound working, so watched everything with no sound. But anyway, but it was great. There were like 4 or 5 grandparents, like 4 or 5 parents, and all the kids were there introducing their piece. So tell me what piece did you play, and what was that experience like for you?
I played a thing called G Swing, which is a jazz piece for trumpet, and I don't play trumpet, but all the notes were miraculously in oboe range, or at least in my personal oboe range. So I was able to play it, and it was a jazz song. You don't usually hear jazz oboes. So there are some jazz players that are oboe players that are great, that play jazz and are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had to learn a lot of different jazz articulation, which is way different from classical articulation. And it's different. Catalina was really excited to hear about this project, and then not as much when she realized it was a jazz song.
Catalina's the oboe teacher.
Yeah, classical piano.
Okay. All right. Well, let's keep running through the day. So band goes from what time
running
to
out of film?
Well, I hope not. But what time does band end?
Band ends at 11:50, but usually we get let out a little bit early, or I finish early and get to have a nice little break.
And then what do you do during your nice little break?
11:50 to 1 is lunch, and I usually eat lunch and play a game, or
with me.
Sometimes I have to do work, or sometimes I have a lot of free time, and I can even watch either the back or front 9 of a disc golf tournament with Daddy, so that's nice sometimes.
Or play a game with me.
What?
Play a game with me.
What you mean right now?
No.
Oh.
I mean, we often play during lunch.
Yeah, we do that too.
Yeah. And what's the favorite thing that you like that you and I play during lunch?
Exploding Kittens.
We don't do that very often because I hate the game.
Yeah.
But we both like Monopoly Deal.
Yeah.
Which is sitting there with all the other games we haven't yet put away. There it is.
Where is it?
Okay, it's behind you there.
Oh, there's.
Okay, so all right, so now you're at 1 o'clock. You're back to school. Then what happens?
Then I have pre-calc.
And who teaches that?
Mr. LaRiviere.
And how is that?
That's okay. I think I'm understanding a lot of stuff, but he's one of the teachers who really enforces you showing your work, which I hate because I do a lot of stuff in my head, and then I have to write it down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, the answer is that. What did I do? Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's good for people who don't who like it's helpful to write down stuff, but I it's just really tedious for me, and I got downgraded on the very first problem set because I didn't really show much work.
I see.
But I tried to do that on the computer, which was very difficult because you have to type out all your work.
So now you're handwriting it and then
Now I'm
uploading
handwriting it and taking a picture of it.
And how are you doing on this class and all your classes?
Not as well in this class as I'd like. I usually like math is like probably one of my best subjects. I usually like to get an A+ in that, but I have a 94 in A because of the stupid show your work thing, and the and I was like I probably did a calculation error or something on one of the exit tickets, so I got like a downgraded for that, so I had to retake that. But
Okay, and your other classes, how are you doing?
and then social studies as a 94. I could. It's so hard to get an A+ in social studies. I don't know if anybody managed to do it last year, but it's just the hardest class. So I have a 94 in that too, which is good. A is really hard to get to, and I'm lucky to get that. And then I have an A plus in band, 102.
Okay. How'd you do last semester?
Oh, I tried so hard to get all A pluses. I almost did it, but I was just a little bit short. I had a 96 in English, but I had an A plus in both Latin and what was the other one? Chemistry.
Okay. All right. So you're done pre-calc, and what time does that end, and what's next?
Well, pre-calc ends at 2:20, and that's my day. But no, I have choir too. At 2:30 to 3, which
Every day?
every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's tricky because sometimes when there's a half day or there's like a no day of school, one of the days they'll change it up. They always do 3 days, but that's tripped me up one time. I think I missed it one time, but
Okay. And so who teaches that, and how do you do
Mr.
choir with Zoom?
we haven't really. Well, so far we've only really done one project, which is Ellery Conlon, Lucius's brother, is apparently a wizard at editing and producing music.
Huh.
So he's in our group. He's the one we're sending all of our recordings to, and I sent mine months ago, and everybody else has kind of been dawdling. Other than Aiden, he did it around the same time.
And then Ellery's going to mix it into a piece?
Yeah, he's going to mix it using Logic, which is one of the best mixing softwares.
Okay. So if you sent your recorded piece a long time ago, what do you do in this 1 hour every other day?
1.5 hour. We usually do some sort of group activity. We warm up a bit. Usually there's some ear training, and yeah, I'm pretty good at ear by ear stuff. So it's usually not that hard for me. So it usually gives me and Alex extra challenges. Alex is another really good musician who's in.
I remember Alex was the kid who was the model for how you can do band and chorus in the same year.
Yeah, and he's in the pit. He plays a bunch of band instruments, and yeah, I don't think he plays any string instruments, but yeah.
So what are the extra challenges that you and Alex get?
Well, he said he played something, and then we had to say what solfege it is. Solfege is the really weird system that I don't like very much. It's just like do re mi fa sol la. There's do re mi fa so la ti do. That system in the Sound of Music. Do a dear yeah.
Which we're so excited it's going to be the performance this quarter. Yay.
I don't really like solfege that much. I just think they should call it by the regular note names, like C. This is not necessarily a C. Disclaimer. A C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I think they should just do that because I think that's easier. And usually I have to transfer my knowledge of solfege to actual piano stuff. And then
but what's the assignment? I don't quite get
yeah,
it.
Anyway, so he would play something, and then he'd have Alex and I do it in reverse solfege, which means that starting at do up here, instead of do, re, mi, it's do, ti, la, which is the normal do, ti, la, so it's reverse.
Okay. So that's one assignment, or but what do you do on a regular basis? Do you get extra assignments, or just once in a while?
Just once in a while.
Okay. All right. Okay, so he's trying to challenge you a little bit. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
What year is Alex?
Senior.
Okay. All right, and so who's the teacher for chorale?
Mr. Fruth.
Do you like him?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
I think he's great.
Yeah, he's a good teacher.
You guys had this wonderful cabaret thing where
it was fun.
Not
many people did it.
Yeah, but there were like, I don't know, what, 8 to 10 of you?
Yeah.
And you performed songs together, and you worked. What was that like?
I performed with Christian, and it was fun. We did a song from The Producers, which is pretty much the only non-offensive song in The Producers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you played a character who was all dejected and like down and out and giving
Christian
up.
played a guy who was not that.
Yeah. And so watching you acted very dejected
great.
and unenthusiastic, but that was your character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so after school, so you've got chorale Monday, Wednesday, Friday from what, 2:30 to 3:30 or something?
Yeah, 2:30 to 3.
And then
Wednesday, Friday.
What else do you have for after school activities?
Monday, I guess now I have French. It used to be Wednesday, and then Friday once, and now it's Monday.
What time on Monday?
5, I think.
Okay, what else do you have? And who is French with, and what do you think of it?
Oh, there's Daddy's.
Daddy. Daddy.
you
Jeff,
missed it.
let's see that again. Here, back up and let's see that again.
Oh, you gotta catch it.
Ah,
Gotta be
he
quick.
does this little pivoty
If
kind
you
of
spend
dance.
less time doing that and more time panning the camera, you get it.
Okay, all right. Jeff, how about one more time with your little dance?
No, you missed it. Too bad.
All right, fine. All right, so who do you take French from, and what's that like?
With Sabine. And,
Sabine
yeah,
Charton.
Charton Long.
Charton Long. Mm-hmm. And what's that like?
It's good. I'm studying for the AP exam, which is going to be in May, and we're basically doing a lot of the things that the French class did. And when the semester ended, I lost access to the Google Classroom, so that was a bit of a hiccup, but Franck gave me access again. And
Mr. Franck is the French 3 teacher?
not Mr. Franck, just Franck.
Franck, okay,
Yeah.
yes. And Latin, oh, you have a Latin test coming up.
No, I finished the Latin test.
Oh, that's right.
Weeks ago.
All right, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
COVID brain.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do French with Sabine, and
Yep.
that's all on Zoom,
Yep.
and you've been taking classes with Sabine really since we got back from Montreal, right?
Yeah, except I took a break for a year when I did
When you had actual
the
French.
actual French.
But so from 2014 until, I think maybe 2014. Anyway, it's been a few years.
Mhm.
Okay, with a 1 year break in there when you had
Yeah,
actual French.
Yeah, I'm glad I took the actual French class because
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Whatever.
You're glad you took actual French because
Yeah, well, I mean, it was good to get back on the train and actually learn stuff instead of like reviewing stuff.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And you managed to do actual French because thank goodness Mr. what's his name again? Roundy allowed
So
you.
I could do that,
We
yeah.
saw him at an open house and we said, Mr. Roundy, it's really a dilemma because Cameron really loves Latin and wants to do it, but we really don't want him to lose his French, and because he was basically fluent for his age level in Montreal. And so Mr. Roundy said, tell you what, I will allow him to meet with me after school once a week, and he'll have the regular assignments. He'll have to work it all independently, and then he can skip a year and be with his regular class doing Latin. So he can do so Cameron did his regular French and then worked independently for a year doing Latin. And how did that work, rejoining your class after 1 year working on your own?
Yeah, I was afraid I'd be really like lost, and I did like not know a lot of the vocab and stuff, but I was actually I think keeping it together pretty well, and I like knew a lot of the grammar stuff.
And you caught up.
Yeah, I think I was pretty caught up.
Okay, so you learned the vocab that you'd missed.
Yeah, I mean, you just with time like learn the vocab anyway.
Okay, so you got French. What else do you have after school?
Well, Monday is I both have chorale and French, and then Tuesday is my one free day, but it's the day I have to do a lot of work because I have to send in my recording to Catalina, which takes anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour. And then I have usually something I have to do for orchestra as well. So sometimes I like to do both of those at the same time to kind of not have to soak my reed twice.
Okay. Wait, when's orchestra?
Thursday.
And from what time to what time?
From 6 to 8, except we usually don't go to 8, thankfully.
And who teaches orchestra, and what's that like?
Chris, and it's very easy because everybody else is in middle school or younger. Some people have been taking their instrument for a year.
And why did you decide to do this orchestra?
I don't even know.
Well, you wanted to be in an orchestra, and this was the
Not really.
Well, this was the orchestra.
You wanted me to be into orchestra.
But you did orchestra before.
Yeah, I'm just doing basic. Miss Nadia is a very good band curriculum. I'm just basically doing everything I'm doing in her class, but just kind of a dollar store version of that.
Okay. All right. And Catalina thought you should be in orchestra as well. It wasn't just
Yeah.
me.
I picked this song for jazz. It was a jazz song that I played in piano that I thought our group could do, and everybody was really wild about it. But then Chris saw that it had too hard chords, and then we picked something else, even though we'd already picked that one. So we switched to something else.
Oh, well.
Still kind of bitter about that. Whatever.
Oh, well. And tell me how oboe's been going with Catalina.
It's been good. A lot of work on
She's
this.
a good teacher.
Yeah, this one song is fairly hard. A lot of
What song?
the Marcello Concerto in C minor, which it's a very very advanced song. It's the song that Livian, the oboe player who used to be at the high school, played at her like last concert.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
We went to
the
that.
very same song. This was actually The year I was auditioning for like districts, I thought Catalina thought I was in the senior districts,
Yeah.
but I was in the junior districts, and this was
Yeah.
the song they gave the senior districts to play. And I was like in middle school, I'm like, oh, this is really hard. They're giving us this,
Yeah.
but it was the
It was the senior.
yeah.
Yeah. And you did districts one year.
Yeah, I did do it one year, and I didn't really like it that much, so I've not done it again. But
You did what?
I didn't really like it that much, so I have not done it again.
But you might do it again.
Maybe at some point, but
Anyway, so and you've been with Catalina for several years now, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
And this is all on Zoom. How's it working doing music classes on
Oh.
Zoom?
Surprisingly well. I think I need a better setup for pianos. Might be something that you could help me find. But Becky, I used to have the vacuum over there, and I would attach a Kleenex box to the end of the vacuum so I could like kind of squeeze the phone in place.
I have an idea.
What?
The old little thing we used to. What?
No, you weren't looking at the camera.
Oh. It's the old little thing we used to have to hold menus when we had a bed and breakfast. That might work. It sits up and you can clamp things to it.
Yeah, but it also needs to like point down at the keys. I
Oh,
can't point
okay.
up.
All right, we'll figure something out. Anyway, so when do you have Becky's piano class?
Oh, I'm getting to that.
Becky
That's
Eldridge.
on Sunday.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
But on Tuesday, I have to do a lot of homework. Usually, a half hour of social studies homework. And if I'm lucky, I'll be able to watch some TV or something. And then Wednesday.
Cobra Kai, the show where everybody beats each other up. I hate
No,
it.
no, hardly anybody beat each other up last episode.
Anyway, that's rare.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Well, Wednesday is
Chorale.
yeah, Wednesday is live chorale after school, and what else do I do on Wednesday?
You used to have French, but that got moved because Sabine had a conflict.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I usually have a lot of homework on Wednesday too.
Mm-hmm. And then what?
I feel like there's something on Wednesday I'm forgetting. I don't remember. But yeah, I guess it used to be French. Okay, then Thursday is probably my most work day because not only do I have orchestra for 2 hours, so thankfully he usually lets us out after an hour at the nighttime, but I also have sometimes chorale when it's moved, and I used to have Catalina that day as well, and
But she's moved to Friday
Yeah.
now.
but I'll also have a lot of homework. Usually, there's some big assignment that's due Friday, either in math or in social studies, so I usually work on that.
Okay, and
And
Friday?
then Friday I have all my usual classes, and then chorale after that. Then oboe after that. I usually like to keep Fridays open, because it's like the best day of the week, arguably, at least of the school week. Saturdays and Sunday are nice too, but not this year, so that's a bummer. But after that, it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier night. It used to be WandaVision night, and before that, it was Mandalorian night.
Okay, right. And then Saturday we like to clean for an hour. Right.
Yeah, you'd like to clean for
We
an
do
hour.
2 hours of cleaning on the weekend. And what kind of jobs do you do for your cleaning?
Well, I wasn't done.
Oh,
talking
sorry,
about
go
Friday.
ahead.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
also dinner out night.
All right.
And
Forgot about that.
nights.
Oh,
when,
Wednesday's pizza night. That's what you forgot
that's
about
what I forgot.
Wednesday.
Yeah, and Friday is also movie night in when there's not an episode of whatever we're watching coming out.
And dinner out is actually dinner in. We order out
Mhm.
during COVID.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's the next one or the one after that, but there's always some Disney Plus show that comes out every Friday, which is really nice. A lot of them are very good, but there's one I don't think I at least don't really want to watch. So there'll be like a break of however long, where we won't have anything on Friday.
And what's your favorite dinner out and your favorite meal?
Well, I have a lot of favorite restaurants, but my ideal dinner out would be a nice pan pizza from Pizza Hut, but there's only one Pizza Hut in the
We
area.
never do that.
It is in Springfield, and it got our order wrong, and we were there for an hour.
So we've never actually done an order
Yeah.
out. So
I'd really like to go try that Pizza Hut again and just get an order. We can skip pizza on Wednesday. I just like to do that one time.
Okay, but let's get back because I might run
Because
out
they
of
sell
time.
Detroit pizza now, which is like the best pizza.
Okay, so where do we actually order and what do you
I
get?
usually pick Friendlies because, yeah.
And what do you get?
I vary it sometimes, but I usually get some mozzarella sticks because I truly believe that they
Some, like 20.
Yeah, but they're mini mozzarella sticks, like that big.
And a sundae.
Yeah, and
It comes with little cups of toppings that are each like a full dessert.
No, they aren't. They're not.
Anyway, so there's Friendlies, and then Bueno Isano. And what do you get at Bueno Isano?
Oh, delicious barbecue pulled pork quesadilla.
And I get the same. It's
Yep,
really
and
yummy.
then Mommy and Daddy, just to spite me, pick Panda East basically every time.
And
They changed the recipe for their peanut noodles, and they have not been that good since.
but I love them.
And I can't for the life of me find another thing I at all kind of like there. So
Okay, all right. So
even their smoothies are not very good.
okay, so on Sunday, what's your schedule on Sunday?
I have a tag thing here. Can I grab some scissors?
No,
Sorry,
no,
it's
honey,
really
do
scratchy.
scissors
It's really
after.
scratchy.
Cameron, no, seriously, I'm
it'll
going to
take
run
a
out of
second. It'll
film,
take-
honey.
It'll take a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay. All right, Sunday. What's your schedule on Sunday?
Okay, can you hold this?
No, seriously, honey, just cooperate here.
Okay, 1 second. Oh, there, got this.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
All right.
Sorry, that was just very itchy.
Yep.
Great. Okay.
Sunday.
Sunday is Saturday. I actually don't have anything to do. That's really
Except
nice.
cleaning.
Moving right past that. On Sunday, I have
Attitude of cleaning.
I have piano at 3 for a half hour, and then right after that at 4, I have coming of age, or not coming of age. Used to be coming of age. Now it's youth group from 4 to 6, which is 2 hours, and I think a little bit too long. I'd like it better if it were an hour, and 9 hours.
And
is
who are
much
the
too long.
adults who are your counselors for this?
It's Annie and Alan,
Annie who?
Duran,
Mm-hmm.
and Alan.
What's she like?
She's usually really busy. She's she has a child named Amma, I think, and she likes to chime in occasionally. I think yesterday I don't remember. She said something like Annie was trying to get her to eat a vitamin, and then she said the little girl
Her
said,
child.
yeah, it's not your choice, Mama. And she was trying to get the vitamin, and then he was like, "Oh, I've trained you well," and also, "Oh no."
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, okay.
Teach your child to question authority, and boy, do you have a rough road in teenage years.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so who are the other adults?
Then Alan and Kathy and Jan, and is there anybody else? No, that's
Quite
it.
a crew.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, what's your chores on the weekend?
Let's talk more about the youth group.
No, Cameron, I'm going to run out of film.
No, I didn't talk about the adults yet.
Tell me how you. Tell
adult.
me how you. I'm going to run out of film. So tell me how you earn your allowance if you ever decide you want to earn it.
I think I can earn $11.05 for cleaning my upstairs room, tidying it up, not cleaning it, not completely cleaning
Should
it.
be cleaning, including
No,
vacuuming.
no.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
$1 for sweeping the floor, $1 for mopping the floor, $1 for doing the dishes. There's something else.
You get a bonus if you do all of them.
Yeah,
oh,
no, but there's
your
another-
laundry.
Laundry, yeah.
So total you can get 11, and there's like a $2 or $3 bonus, but you'd have to
$2.
do all of them.
Yeah.
How often do you actually do all of them?
Once.
Ever?
Yeah. And that was when it was only $10, so I have not done the full 11 yet.
Oh dear. Oh well. There we can strive. Anyway, but then 2 hours a week when we're being good as a family, we do a family clean. And what are some of the activities that you've done during the family clean?
I don't even remember.
Sometimes I let you do your regular chore, and you're happy about that. So mopping the floor,
Yeah, that way
the
you get
kitchen
paid,
floor.
which is nice.
You got to remove all the chairs, sweep, mop.
Oh, you still owe me for that, by the way.
Okay. At Christmas time, it was things like, setting up all of Christmas and taking down all of Christmas and taking the tree out and all that.
Now we sometimes like to listen to the book on tape we're listening to, which is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. Mommy really likes it.
It's a
Except
great book.
sometimes she doesn't want us to listen to it because she's mad for some reason or another. But that's okay.
And sometimes we listen to the tape that Daddy likes called The Hate You Give, which is really a phenomenal book.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. All right.
It's always tricky when an adult is writing about kids because it's somewhat inaccurate, but
Well, she tries.
Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna wind up here.
sit now.
What do you like best about being 16? Oh, you're starting to drive. What's that like?
I don't know.
That's the other after school thing. You forgot to mention
I
that.
forgot to mention that.
So-
And disc golf every day after school.
So every day after school, Daddy takes you out driving, or sometimes it's me for a half hour.
Yeah.
What's it like to begin to learn how to drive?
I don't know. It's I crashed the car once. Not really.
You didn't really. You bumped into a sign. It wasn't a crash.
I know. I kind of scraped the car with the sign, and there was like a railroad tie under the car, which kind of damaged his car, and he still hasn't replaced it. And I'm still kind of
It was a tough spot. It could have
regretful.
happened to anybody. Anyway, Daddy was like having you do a challenging thing, and you were brand new. So, anyway, okay. So, what do you like best about learning how to drive?
I don't know. It's that's an excuse not to have to walk a half mile to the disc golf course down there.
Okay.
That's not necessarily the best part, but I don't know. I'm gonna need to learn how to drive to do things in later life. So I'm getting a good start now. And,
Which things do you think are easy or hard about driving?
Well, Daddy's car is very big.
Yeah.
That's a bit difficult.
Yeah, we
That's
should
part of
have
the
had to
reason
start.
I crashed.
Yeah.
I'll give the car's bigness at least like 2% of the blame for that.
We should have had you start on the Prius.
But the Prius is an older car, so it's a little harder to maneuver than Daddy's car. So there's
Mhm.
pros and cons to each.
And what do you think is easy or hard about the physical driving part?
I don't know. I haven't got really used to like the different like you can't really see the ground, so you can't really tell how far from the line you are unless you just in memory you just remember.
Right, judging
where it looks,
distances. Yeah. Okay. And what's easy about learning to drive?
I don't know. All the technology is very easy to use. The steering wheel is very easy to use. I wish there were some way though to you can't really tell if you're just parked what direction the wheels are turned based on
Yeah.
the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I wish there was some way to tell because 2 full rotations means they're all the way turned. So it could be that the steering wheel is directly upward, but the wheels are still
That's
turned.
a good point. Someone should invent something that shows on the dashboard.
Yeah, or they should just have something in the wheel that just is a picture of where the wheels are.
That's a good point. And so we go drive. Daddy takes you. Where does Daddy take you driving?
Usually just down to the Common or sometimes on Evening Star for trying tricky things. Daddy had me do the ridiculously hard thing of backing around a circle.
Yeah, on a public right away. I don't think that's a great idea.
There wasn't anybody there, but I couldn't do it at first, and then Daddy tried it and he couldn't do it either.
That's funny.
And then he tried a different method, which involved basically not going on the right side of the road, instead looking at the left side of the road, which is where the circle is. And that's a better way to judge than trying to look around and see the back and try to guess where the curb is.
Yeah. So and I
I managed to do it after that too. So.
And I took you driving to the Eric Carl parking lot, which
Mhm.
is actually great because you can come out to the main
It's a
drag.
bit tight though.
But it's good to learn how to drive there. And then we also went to the Florence Bank parking lot and drove around the bank a bunch of times and learned how to pull into parking places. Okay, so and you passed your learner's permit electronic test, no problem, the first try. And then over April break, you're going to do your 30 hours of online class that's required for the registry through the Needham Driving School. And Walker's doing it with you.
Oh yes.
Okay,
No,
so what do you like best about being 16 and what do you like worst?
Well, I can drive now. Probably best.
Okay.
And worst is I don't know. Really busy.
Yeah. Okay. In a year you're going to start thinking about colleges.
Mhm.
Have you thought about that at all yet?
I don't know. Not really.
Okay. What makes you happy as a 16-year-old and what causes you anxiety or worry?
Well, I'm happy that I get to do a lot of things like watch less benign at movies, except sometimes not.
You have a strict mother.
Yeah, and you're only able to watch rated R movies. I don't know how you aren't letting me watch any PG-13 movie.
Oh, well, some movies that are really good happen to be rated R, and some movies that are PG are just so loaded with violence. That's all you see every 5 minutes.
That's all you see every 5 minutes. It's action. It's not
okay. All right. So what was the part?
And all the Marvel movies you like to say you hate them, but you've actually really liked them.
Sometimes they're engaging.
Yeah, there's a storyline going on. You loved WandaVision. You really liked.
I did like WandaVision.
You really liked Captain America: Winter Soldier, which is one of the most gun-heavy movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And fun fact: in that entire movie, Captain America does not shoot or hold a gun once.
Yeah, I just don't think that people should be bashing each other around so much.
Whatever.
Anyway, the world has enough of that. Okay, is there anything else that you'd like to say? You've been a very cooperative interviewee, by the way.
Some breakfast. I don't know.
Are you happy? Are you a happy child?
I guess so. Come out to Dakota.
All right.
Come say hello. Here he is.
Here he is. There he is. The little boy and his little cat. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Closing words. Hey, do you remember your poem? No, the woodchuck. You don't have it memorized.
No, I
yet,
don't have
right?
it memorized.
All right. What's your closing words?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that the closing words?
Yeah.
Okay.